and welcome to the program Nafdac Today. My name is Queen Obaseki. On today's edition of the program, I have with me the head of E-Clearance Unit, Nafdac, pharmacist AFAN DUMO. He will be telling us about the importance of electronic clearance. But before I roll the clips, I would like to say thank you to those of you that sent in your contribution to the program by SMS. Mrs. Dora Aku from Wusetu and Oscar Charles from Asokoro. I'll take a short break now. I'll be right back.
You too can stay safe if you do this.
When buying drugs, look out for the scratch pin on the body of the packet. Scratch out the silver-plated code to reveal a 2-digit code. Type PIN to 38353 to check if it's genuine. You will get an instant message. Example, fake. Don't use or OK original.
Even before you pay.
Text is free on all GSM networks. Nafdac has put the power in your hands. So, save not just money, but your life. Nafdac, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Join me as we welcome pharmacist AFAN DUMO. He is the head of E-Clearance Unit, Nafdac. So I would like to know what is E-Clearance? What E-Clearance is all about?
E-Clearance, as the name implies, is electronic clearance. And what we mean by electronic clearance in Nafdac is, prior to this time, things were done manually, moving of papers around, using stamps and biro and all that. But Nafdac is moving from manual way of doing things to automated form of doing things. And so the clearance that used to be manual before, we are moving from the manual clearance method to an electronic clearance method. The leadership of Nafdac, who we have as the Chief Executive Officer and Director General, Dr. Paul Uri, has been moving this agency forward to ensure that every process in Nafdac is automated, so that we don't have a situation where we delay people unnecessarily, we reduce one person-to-person contact. And the essence of e-clearance is so that all clearing processes of Nafdac regulated products across the land borders, the seaports, the airports, are done electronically using the electronic methods available right now for us to use. And that is why this unit has been set up, so that we can have a situation where our clients who want to import or export Nafdac regulated products can do that electronically.
Now, do you think since the electronic clearance system started, do you get more response? Do people respond to it, or they prefer the old ways, which is the manual way, to the e-clearance, to the electronic way?
And most of our clients that have come around since we moved from the manual form of clearance to the automated form of clearance have really been encouraged, because before now, when they come to our offices to do their businesses, they spend a lot of time because things are manually done. There's human interference, there's human judgment and all that. Things may not be fully standardized because people sometimes use human factors in their job. But since this electronics method has started, processes have been standardized. How the costing of whatever they are doing, the charges, the documentation and all that has been standardized by this method, so that most of our clients that come here, they now know what to do, what they are supposed to pay. They can sit down at home and give an estimate of what they are supposed to be charged without even coming here. They know prior to coming to this place, what they are supposed to be charged. They know from our electronic method what documents they are supposed to present before even coming here. Unlike before, when they will come here and then they would somebody will tell them, you are supposed to pay this, you are supposed to bring this, you are supposed to bring that. They run back to their offices, to their businesses, go and start arranging those documents before they come back again to come and start the process and so on. If they miss out something, they have to run back again and all that. But with this electronic method, before you come to the office, you are able to know what amount you're supposed to pay, what documents you're supposed to present, what you're supposed to do before you even come. Most people prefer coming here now as a result of the above mentioned things I've said before, and it has really helped, especially the very compliant clients of Nafdac, because all processes they are now doing now, they do them from the comfort of their offices, and so there's no, the time spent with us is drastically reduced, seriously reduced from the long time they used to spend before to a very short time. They just come and then they do everything from their office. They go to the bank, pay from once they leave their offices or their homes. They just go straight to the bank and do payments without necessarily coming here for such things. So it has really helped in reducing time, and it has really helped them in, like I said before, knowing what to do, what documents to present, and what amount they are supposed to pay before they even come. So if there's any, for instance, if there's any reason why they need to go and get a particular document which they thought they didn't know they're supposed to have, with this electronic method now they know that, oh, probably I need to go to the Directorate of Fisheries to get a particular document, I need to get this document from Customs, I need to get this document from one agency or the other before I now come. Unlike before, when they will just come, they say, you don't have the document from maybe one named agency or the other. Before they come, they don't have to go and start running after that document, and that's a lot of time to get those documents before now coming to come and clear the regulated product. So it has really helped us in reducing time, and has made person-to-person contact almost completely eliminated, because that's a very important thing the DG wants to see how we can do so that we don't have person-to-person contact. And then it has also helped us, it has also helped them because there is not room again now for anybody to take advantage of any client, because you are doing your thing from your own office or from your own premise. So that's the essence of the electronic clearance. Before now, we used to have a situation where clients spend 2-3 days doing documentation of their imports or exports. But with this e-clearance now, a client can just walk in, and in less than an hour he's through with his documentations, payments, and all that. So just less than an hour, somebody who comes into this place is through with whatever he has to do with Nafdac. So the time has been shrinked from the usual 1 day, 2 days, 3 days or trying to do your documentation to just about an hour for you to finish your clearing process with Nafdac as per documentation. What happens in the ports is dependent on various agencies, because at the ports it's not only Nafdac that is presence is there. We have customs, we have other agencies, we have the terminal operators, we have the shipping lines and all that. So, but for our documentation processes, it's just about an hour for you to be through from Nafdac.
Okay, what are the stages? How do they, for those that don't even know computer that much, or that doesn't know how to embark or start the process, how do they start the process?
Yes, the electronic clearance method has been done in 2 phases or in 2 ways. Those that are computer literate are the people, like I've said before, are sitting back at home or in the offices and doing the electronic clearance. We also have the side where, one-off businessmen, people who may not have the requisite technical knowledge of electronic methods, who can just come here, and our staff here who are in position will help them do the electronic clearing from here. So we are able to, before now, take care of these 2 sets of people. We know that there are certain companies who have all the technical know-how, they have all the equipment, they have all the computers and all that to do these things, internet service and all that. So those ones sit down in their offices and do their work. The ones that don't have these things will come here, and we have made provision for them so that when they come, we're able to attend to them using our own equipment and the internet facilities.
On that, for those that knows how to operate the computer, can you please tell us the first stage? How do You have a portal for it, so can you?
Okay. Now, what we do for those that can operate the computer, a client who wants to clear goods at the port that is computer literate must first of all go to the Nigerian Customs Service portal and ensure that he does his declaration, because Nigerian Customs Service is a central agency that organizes all the other agencies that operate at the port. So once he does his declaration with Nigerian Customs Service, he goes to the portal, single window portal, which is trade.gov.ng/Nafdac. When he gets there, he does his declaration on the Nafdac aspect of that trade portal, because the trade portal contains Customs, Standard Organization of Nigeria, Federal Revenue Service, CBN, Nafdac, and some other agencies on that portal. The Nafdac end of it, he goes there and does his declaration, and the system automatically gives him the charges he's supposed to pay and tells him the documents he needs to present for clearing. He does that, and then he's issued, because people are on the back end vetting what he does. Immediately he does that, some people at the back end who now gives him a reply and tells him, issues him a pay advice electronically. So as he's issued a pay advice electronically, he goes and does his payments online, or he decides to go to the bank and does over the counter payment. Once he's done with that, he now comes with just his documents to get a stamp, because the Nigerian Customs Service needs a stamp from us to verify payments. So he just comes to just do the stamping, but all the other procedure before that, to put the stamp, is done by our clients in their offices. So that's a way of helping us reduce the time spent, because all the client does just come to do is just to put a stamp on his document.
For instance, I've imported goods to the country and I want to do this e-clearance in my own house. So if I tell you, or I put a figure or a number on the system showing that, okay, for instance, I have 10 goods and I put in 6, the system automatically give me cost of 6 goods. So how do you verify? How do you know that this person actually has 10 goods?
There are people who are working on the back end. Once you submit your declaration to us on our own side of the portal, there are people at the back end that compares what you have submitted with what you declare to the Nigerian Customs Service. Like I said earlier, the Nigerian Customs Service is connected with us. So there are people that are vetting what you submit on the back end of the portal. So there is no how you declare to Customs, Nigerian Customs Service, that you have 10 containers, for instance, and you are declaring to us 6 containers. If you declare to us 6 containers, we give you costing for 10, because what we are seeing on your declaration with Customs is 10, not 6. So that's how we'll be able to check that, so that nobody takes advantage of the portal and cheats the government.
We'd like to know some of the advantages of this electronic clearance.
Now, the federal government in the first place decided to do a kind of port reform to ensure that goods, with there's trade facilitation, there's no clogging of the ports and all that. And as a result of that, all the government agencies are expected to automate their processes, so that we have a situation where at the end of the day, we have our clients go to a single portal, which is already up, a single portal where they do their declaration, they get single processing, and then their goods are released singly. A situation where he has to go from one agency, travel to Victoria and to see one agency, come to Yaba, go to Apapa, go to Ikeja and all that, run up and down. He does everything in one portal. Now the clearance side, which is our Nafdac own end, we have been able to do things such that we have helped in bridging the gap pending when the full-blown implementation of the single window project. And so it has helped us a lot by reducing the time it takes for us to replicate files across various agencies. It also helps us to receive instant and scheduled notification of client activities and inspection of goods at the port, because once a client does his declaration with Nigerian Customs Service, we have an SMS notification and also have online notification. So this e-clearance method has helped us so that we can now schedule people as the Nigerian Customs Service invites us for inspection. We schedule people down before the Nigerian Customs Service say, oh, we are ready for inspection. Nafdac, you can come and do inspection. Then our clients are able to pay for services electronically. There is a speedy response time, like I've explained originally, and then there is high performance, because now we see that our staff have seen that these things are automated, and because when there's a process is automated, it also checks your ability. It also checks the speed at which you work. So our staff in Nafdac know that these things also check, so they are up and doing. They want to ensure that they attend to clients quickly and as short as possible. And then it's also secure, because it's not something that can easily be hacked. It is also extendable to the third party, which is our clients. We are not only ones using the portal, our clients also use the portal, and we have made it such that this electronic clearance is very easy to understand. And that is why a lot of clients, we have over 200 clients now that are big multinationals and clearing outfits that are busy operating this process electronically. And then it also helps us to assess. You can just sit down, like I've said before, assess your goods before coming to this. So it gives you a self-assessment facility, and then it also gives us an automated pay advice, so that we, before we use just biro and write a pay advice for you, now the system on its own automatically gives you an automated pay advice. With the pay advice, you're able to check if there's an issue, if there's a problem. We're able to know who raised that pay advice, because it has electronic signature. Who raised the pay advice? We're able to follow up on transactions, and then it also helps us to collect data. Before, we used to do manual entry of data for statistical reasons, but now with this electronic clearance method, data is automatic, because once the data has been inputted in the Nigerian Customs Service portal, we receive it and we now use that data automatically, unlike before where we used to manually type in those data. And then we have also developed a customer relationship way of interacting with our client by setting up a Skype address, which is a Nafdac e-clearance at Skype. If you just go to Skype, just type in Nafdac e-clearance support, you will get us online, so that if you are working on your system in your office and you have a challenge, you need to ask questions, you just chat with us, and the customer service staff will attend to you in real time. So these things have really helped us to make this e-clearance a very beautiful process, and that's why most of our clients are really happy, especially those that are doing they are clearing from their offices, because it has really helped them and saved them a lot. And it has also helped us with security, because we are able to really monitor goods that are coming in. We do post-clearance audits, a lot of post-clearance audits, not just because like before, where if we are interested in a particular item or importation, the thing can be detained in the port. But now it has made Nafdac to go an extra mile of doing post clearance audits, so that we don't, if there is a problem with a shipment, for instance, we're able to go out, we allow the shipment to go and we follow it to the warehouse, because the client himself knows that all the information on that shipment, we have it in our own portal, so he's not able to just run away, or thinks he can just carry things and run away like that. So it has really helped us to be able to effectively collect data, analyze those data, and give reports on the imports and exports of Nafdac regulated products. So that is what those are the advantages of the process.
Well, viewers, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
You too can stay safe if you do this.
When buying drugs, look out for the scratch pin on the body of the packet. Scratch out the silver-plated code to reveal a 2-digit code. Type PIN to 38353 to check if it's genuine. You will get an instant message. Example, fake. Don't use or OK original.
Even before you pay.
Text is free on all GSM networks. Nafdac has put the power in your hands. So, save not just money, but your life. Nafdac, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is Nafdac Today, and my guest today is the head of e-clearance unit, Nafdac, pharmacist AFAN DUMO, and he's been telling us how the e-clearance system works. So sit back as we continue the program. Now, we would like to know what you think will be the e-clearance will be in future, or how do you want it to be?
Yes, in the light of the vision of our, we normally call our electronic director general, the e-clearance unit wants to develop in such a way that, or the e-clearance wants to develop in such a way that we are able to do everything that has got to do with clearance of Nafdac regulated products completely online. We don't want to have a situation where we are doing physical verification of documents, for instance. We don't want to have a situation where we even have one person-to-person contact with clients. We want all our clients to be able to clear their goods without having to come to our offices. We want to be able to do that through using the electronic clearance, and so the agency is working towards that, developing manpower, building infrastructure, getting equipments and all that, to ensure that we move to that level where we don't have to have contact with our clients. Once they have their certificates and their permits, they are able to do their clearance of their goods, whether export or import, without necessarily coming to us, except when there is a very special case. But if it's normal compliant import and export, they should do it from their offices and don't come to our offices. And as a result of that, we want to see how we can also fully integrate all aspects of Nafdac. For instance, if somebody gets a permit from Nafdac, we should be able to integrate so that the person can just sit down in his office, print his permit, later could go and collect the hard copy. Of course, hard copies are very necessary. Print an online copy of the permit. He has a certificate, he's able to print an online copy of the certificate, and he uses it to do his transactions. So that is the future. We also want a situation where we are able to also, like I've said in the challenges we've had with the various government agencies, we may not be able to fully integrate with everybody, but we should be able to integrate with most of the very core government agencies that are responsible for clearance of goods at the nation's ports. And then we also are looking forward to ensuring that we are able to also find a way of also verifying things that are documentations that are from outside the country online. For instance, documents like certificate of manufacture, certificate of origin and all that, we should be able to do the verification online. So these are things we are also trying to do, and then we want to see how in the future we are able to work round the clock. Presently now we are still operating during office hours, but we want a situation where we will be able to in the future restructure the e-clearance such that we have, of course we have to have people working at the back end of the portal at every point in time, so that somebody wakes up by 2 a.m. in the morning, or somebody is in the US where the time zone is different from ours, we may be in the afternoon there and ours is in the night, and then the person is able to sit down and somebody is responding to him immediately, real time. So we want to be able to run the e-clearance 24/7, so that there's somebody always, or people always attending to clients. The essence of the attending to clients is to be able to verify declarations, not just for anything, just to ensure that people are able to, once you are doing the thing automatically, you are verifying your declaration. That's the essence of being there. So that is the future of the clearance. We want to ensure that we have 24/7 service. We are able to verify all documents, whether within the agency and other, be able to connect with all government agencies and all that. And then we want to be able to go full online. We want to be able to make our clients sit down and do their complete clearance without coming to Nafdac. And then also even our payment methods, people just pay the normal reason. We want to be able to develop to the extent where you can just use your credit card, your debit card, and do payments to Nafdac that is not in place right now, but we are working towards that to ensure that people can do internet payments and card payments for their transactions. So that is the future of the e-clearance for now.
Okay, so what's your advice to the clients, prospective clients?
Yes, I want to advise our clients that Nigeria is changing. It may look like it may be slow, but things are changing in the country. Many of our clients, or many clients, think that things are still done the old way, where they can manipulate things, they can manipulate documents, they can do false declaration and go scot-free, and nobody sees it, nobody knows about it. In fact, it has happened recently that people who had cleared goods without coming to Nafdac through the ports have been, we've tracked them using this electronic method, and we are able to call them to order. We are able to sanction them for doing such things without recourse to Nafdac. So people should have a change of attitude towards